opens up with a doctor and a gentlewoman. A gentlewoman is basically a midwife or a nurse's aide, okay? And they are talking about all of the bad dreams and the sleepwalking that Lady Macbeth has been doing lately. And when they're sitting there talking, it's like they don't know what's wrong with her for sure. The doctor can't fix her because he doesn't have that kind of ability. Because basically, physically she's okay, but her mind is diseased, I believe is how he says it. And then she just comes stumbling in, all right? And one of the most famous lines from Macbeth is, yeah, here's a spot, and she's rubbing her hands, right? Out, damn spot. Well, what, she sees what?
The blood.
Imaginary blood on her hands. Because quite literally there's blood on her hands for all the murders that have taken place. Remember, it starts with Duncan. Then we have the two chamberlains, right? The two guards. And then we have Banquo, right? Tries to kill Fleance, but isn't successful. And then he turns around and butchers all of Macduff's family. Does Lady Macbeth know about all of this stuff? Absolutely she does. Eric. Is it an emergency? Go ahead. Guess so. And she knows about all of it. But we have seen from the beginning of the play where Lady Macbeth was this very strong character, wasn't she? She was like, oh my gosh, we got to do this. We got to kill Duncan. If you don't kill him, you can't break a promise to me, right? All of these things. She's a very strong character. And now we've seen her dissension into a babbling, sleepwalking, guilt-ridden, guilty conscience gal. That's what she's reduced herself to. All right? Macbeth, we know, has just become evil. All right? And will stop at nothing to gain power. Will stop at nothing to get what he needs or what he wants to obtain. And now that he's here, he will stop at nothing to keep him as being the king. Even to go back to the witches in Act 4, right? And they prophesied him 4 things. Beware of Macduff. Till Burnham wood to high Dunsinane Hill. No man born of woman shall harm Macbeth. And a line of 8 kings that resemble Banquo. Still follow me, everyone? Okay? The doctor and the gentlewoman decide that they won't wake her up. Keep your eye on her so she doesn't hurt herself. Tell no one about this, because if we tell people about this, what's going to happen to us? Macbeth's probably going to kill us. Because they heard about the Banquo murder. They heard about Macduff. Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Right? Remember that line? I don't know who read it. Well, where's the Thane of Fife's wife? Dead. Along with her kids and her servants. All right? So that's basically scene 1. Okay? Questions about any of that? Does that help clarify a little bit from scene 1?
So pretty much Lady Macbeth is just like...
Lady Macbeth is off her rocker.
She's going crazy.
She's not going, she's done gone crazy. All right? She's sleepwalking because of a guilty conscience. It's racked her that bad. All right?
Macbeth doesn't even like care about Lady Macbeth.
No, Macbeth is like, I just have to stay king, man. That's all I have to do. I have to remain the king and do whatever it takes to stay where I'm at. Okay? Because and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but Macbeth is like, the queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. It's like, she picked a rotten time to die because they're all coming to get me. I would have had time to mourn her death, but I'm busy right now. All right? And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we go to Act 2. And basically,
Scene 2.
that's that. I'm sorry. Very good. Thank you. We come to scene 2. And there's a little bit of foreshadowing that comes here. Because all these soldiers come upon the wood of
Burnham.
Burnham is right. Oh, where have we heard Burnham Woods before? The witch's prophecy. Oh, so they just came upon Burnham Wood. What's going on here? All right? That's all that scene pertains to. Okay? They just know that Macbeth is fortified in Dunsinane and they need to get him. And they're going to meet the English troops there at Burnham Wood. Got it? On we go to scene 3. We know that Macbeth is preparing for battle. He knows they're coming. But he thinks that because of the witch's prophecies, he still can't be touched. And if all of his guys stick together and stay at Dunsinane, which is the castle, all right, they'll be okay. They'll be all right. They'll fight him off, he believes. All right? So it's he's still very confident because he has the witches on his side. Have the witches lied to him yet? Not yet. They haven't deceived him in any way, shape, or form. So he has no reason to believe that what they tell him won't happen. All right? And he's preparing for battle. He's preparing for battle. And they're ready to go. He's screaming at Seaton already to get his armor. He's ready to rock and roll, man. Bring it. We'll be okay. Laugh a siege to scorn, I think is how he puts it. Don't worry, we're going to get it. But we get to scene 4. And Malcolm, with the English forces, have met up with the Scottish forces to go to Dunsinane, and they all have met at Burnham Wood. Okay? So what they do, Malcolm orders them to take their axes, take their swords, take whatever it is, and hack down a tree limb, or a bough, I believe is what they call it in the story. Hack down a tree limb or a bough, hold it in front of you, and start walking to Dunsinane. All right? So when the guy in the tower at Dunsinane sees all of these branches moving towards Dunsinane from a ways away, what does it look like? Looks like the forest is moving. Hence, Burnham Wood is coming to Dunsinane. Why are they holding the branches up? What's that? They're holding the branches up in front of them to conceal their numbers. So that way, they don't know how many people are actually coming. Well, we know there's 10,000 English troops, led by Seward and Malcolm and Macduff and Ross, because they were all in England. Okay? So, when Burnham Wood moves to Dunsinane, bless you, holy crap, the woods is moving. What's happened to one of the prophecies? It came true. That's why in the next scene, when the servant comes in, maybe he's not called a servant, sorry. When the messenger comes in, 2 major things happen in scene 5. 2 major things. We know that Lady Macbeth is dead. All right? We know she's dead. And Macbeth realizes what? Burnham Woods is moving towards Dunsinane.
Who killed me for our Lady Macbeth?
We will find out what happened to her later in the story. All right? But you can about imagine. All right? You can about imagine. So all of a sudden, Macbeth starts to realize, oh no, maybe those evil witches deceived me in the first place. That can't be good. All right? That can't be good. Because now Burnham Woods moves. And basically he tells the messenger, if you're lying to me, for the next tree you'll hang. All right? Don't give me that crap. Is the woods really moving? It is. Then it's like, you can imagine what this does to Macbeth's mentality. But yeah, like Roy, like you said, he just kind of plays off Lady Macbeth's death. Oh well, way we go. It'll be all right. She died. She just picked a bad time to do it. Yeah, he comes in and says, the queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Go to scene 5, will you please? This is a very important soliloquy. Remember what a soliloquy is, right? All right? And he's aside here. He's talking to himself. And it begins when, right after Seton says, the queen, my lord, is dead. Everyone there? She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Here's a, I use this with my football team a lot. Believe it or not, I do add Macbeth to athletics. And it says, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So basically what he's saying is that when you're on top of the stage, when it's your hour to shine, you have to take advantage of that. 5 or 6 years ago, I had a room full of kids sitting exactly where you are now. I was teaching them Macbeth, and just off the top of my head, I can't tell you a single person that was in this class. I don't know who were juniors in 2010, 2011. I can't tell you who the juniors were. I could look at, I could go back and then it would. But you guys only get so long to strut and fret upon the stage, and then you're not heard from anymore. It's unbelievable. In the 30 years I've been teaching, kids will come back and say, oh, remember that time? It's like, that was 20 years ago. How in the heck would I remember that? Remember that time we did this again? It's like,
but it was important to them.
it was important to them then.
Yeah.
That was their hour to strut and fret upon the stage. Your dad tells me stories all the time. Remember that time we taped Mr. Meyer up to the chair? Wasn't there, Adam. I don't know. I don't remember. You know? But they remember that because that was their hour. I tell my football team, you know what? Tonight, in pregame speeches tonight, everyone wants to be you. The old guys talk about being you. The young kids want to be on the field like you. But this is your hour. This is your time. You only get one chance at being a junior. Macbeth only has one chance to be a king. That's what he's talking about here. All right? So, when they said that Shakespeare doesn't result or look at things that are happening now, I totally disagree. Because I think it's all important in what we learn and how you interpret this. All right? So then we go to, did we get through 6? Through scene 6? Or to scene 6? Through, okay. So then we have, scene 6 is very simple, very short. It's just, hey, Malcolm says, throw your branches aside. Here we go. Time to rock and roll, time for the fight. But we know most of Macbeth's men have done what?
Flood, probably.
Fled. They've fled and aren't going to fight for him anymore. But Macbeth is still confident, isn't he? No man born of woman shall harm Macbeth. I'm okay.